Hello everybody, in this video we're gonna talk about the biggest video game news of the week. Almost a month into 2023, and this past week has been the first one in which the video game launch train has really kicked back into gear. The week kicked off with everyone arguing about Forspoken and ended with no having a bad thing to say about Dead Space. Even better, if neither of those games tickle your fancy, GoldenEye is finally back. The only bad news is the day before is definitely not here, and Marvel Avenger won't be soon either. Everything you need to know about all the above and more as we recap all of the biggest news from the last week in video game. No one knows what to make of Forspoken. Forspoken has the honor of being the first major video game launch of 2023, hitting an average review score of somewhere just out of 17, which is apparently a bad thing. All of the discourse since has revolved more around its dialogue than the quality of the game, whichever side of the fence you fall on. What definitely wasn't good for the game was footage of the final boss fight leaking before the game had actually arrive. It's also been added to a list of games that haven't properly credited their localization team. The Dead Space remake is a hit. Fast forward a few days and the Dead Space remake became the second major launch of 2023, receiving a far warmer reception than Forspoken. The general view appears to be that EA has hit the remake out of the park. Aside from the obvious about the remake being celebrated, it was also discovered ahead of launch that the new Dead Space includes an alternate ending, and that its new game plus will include Phantom Necromorph variant. Someone who worked on the game also labeled the remake sound design too much scary. Still trying to decide whether that's a compliment or not. GoldenEye is back. Nintendo and Xbox sent the video game world into a state of panic last year when it confirmed both NSO and Game Pass would be getting slightly different version of GoldenEye. By the time you hear this, and if you haven't already sunk hours into the Bond game's iconic multiplayer mode on Switch, well, you're certainly not me. Even a classic as well loved as GoldenEye has its issues. True, it was pointed out ahead of its triumphant return that the pause music on the Switch version is wrong. What in the world is going on with the day before? Whatever game you're playing this weekend, spare a thought for the countless people who have wishlisted the day before. The mysterious game was meant to be getting a gameplay reveal before the end of the month and launching on March 1st. That is no longer the plan, as Fantastic revealed. The launch of its My-Lined game has been delayed until November. It blamed the removal of the game's Steam page on the realization that someone else owns the trademark for the game name. It's a shame, to be honest. Hi-Fi Rush successful shadow drop. Xbox held a developer direct this week, and despite big name like Redfall and Minecraft Legend assuming the spotlight, it was a game no one had previously heard of that stole the show. A rhythm game from Tango Gameworks called Hi-Fi Rush. As a viewer, we're getting their heads around how they had never heard of the game that looked that good until now. The trailer ended with the reveal that Hi-Fi Rush is available now. Tango new game has been deservedly making headline ever since, and its early success may serve as a lesson to other studios that telling people nothing about a game before it launched might actually be the way to go. Marvel Avenger is shutting down. Since more than a week will have passed by the time you hear this, and the amount of stuff that has happened since, it might feel like confirmation Marvel Avenger is shutting down was already weeks ago. Alas, the reveal that the updates will stop and support will end later this year was only official made a few days ago. The game will remain playable after September 30, but for those of you still hopeful the game would eventually get new heroes, that ain't happened. Voice lines for She-Hulk and Captain Marvel were found in the game files this week, but we'll just have to imagine what those characters would have looked like and how they would have been implemented in the game. That's all for this video. We see you in next video. Don't forget to like and subscribe and support my channel. Thank you.